normally appears in a couple of hours here on the program, but I've said that you've got some charity golf thing or something to do today. Is that right?
No, the charity golf day. Are you serious? It's the Australian PGA, the second biggest golf tournament in Australia.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, you know, we're just, you know, we've got a much bigger story going on over here. We've got
what do you got?
We've got a city council. So you know the Sail GP that goes around, about to come to Sydney, right? It's quite a big event. It goes to all the flash places around the world. All the yachty boys love it and they get involved. But here in New Zealand, these kind of things are just like, you know, a paid for tourism video. But Auckland City Council has been trying to organise this for 2 years, and then yesterday said, "Oh no, we don't have anywhere for people to stand and watch it."
That sounds like they're highly qualified to be working for the council.
Exactly. I was just saying that you're a good mate of Dan Herbert's. Now, I did a charity thing with him in Tauranga years and years ago, and he told this fantastic story about when he was at the World Cup, which you should have been at in 1991. And he basically, but he did this thing where they just got as many tickets to the final as they could, sold them to the Poms, and they just made bucket loads of cash. And he said they were catching the tube with pretty much a sack full of notes that they took to the bank. It was brilliant.
It was incredible. I was in his room. There were tickets to the World Cup because all the teams that got knocked out said, "Oh no, we don't want our tickets anymore." And Herb grabbed them, and they were laid out on the bed. And this is Anthony, his brother. So they're very alike. And he had his little brother. Daniel hadn't played for the Wallabies at this stage. He was just touring. So he assisted his brother because we're all amateurs. I get the statute of limitations over on. Yeah, we're all complete amateurs. Grabbed it and just sold them at a huge profit just because everyone in London wanted tickets to the World Cup final, and made bucket loads. And from that, the two Herbert brothers were regarded as the genii because suddenly people went home with players went home with cash in their pockets. It was such a beautiful thing. And from there, he's a good man, mate. I don't know if you've been talking about that Hamish McLennan. He's been a bit of a clown, mate. Mm-hmm. Arrogant, ego-driven, etc., and everything that Daniel Herbert is not, mate. From the age of 4 or 5, grassroots rugby courses through his veins to this day. His brother Anthony, who also played in that World Cup winning Wallabies in 91, he runs a rugby club here in Brisbane. It's Queensland. He's worked for Queensland Rugby Union, and now he's got the top job. And I know he's got the feel of rugby. He's not doing it for any power trip or anything like that. So hopefully it'll be right, and he's not the sort of guy that'll go out and appoint some coach like Eddie Jones on a whim. So, mate, hopefully we're in better hands, but as he said to me yesterday, it ain't a quick hit. Like, don't expect a sugar fix. We're going to try to fix this and centralise like Ireland do and like you guys tend to do. So we're actually changing things over here.
Hang on a second. So you've got a rugby guy who loves rugby in charge of rugby. Sorry, I'm not adding one. So I'm confused about that because you know shouldn't there be some diversity, equality, and inclusion aspect to that appointment?
No, we've tried.
Okay, we've tried that.
We've tried that, and it didn't work. And so we're going back. And Daniel Herbert, being chairman, he also has a lot of business experience. So he's a rugby coursing through his veins. He's represented at the high level. He played 68 tests for the Wallabies.
And he was bloody good too. I do remember he was a bloody good
He won the World Cup. He pushed Jason. The thing was, I'll explain it who he is. Here you go. In terms of the psychological model, he waited. He was a superstar. You know, you could tell from when he was 18 or 19 that he was going to be it. But the problem was, Horan and Little were the centres for Queensland and Australia. So he just sat there, and he got a chance occasionally, and then finally it took him 4 years. So it wasn't until he was 23. He was ready to go when he was job ready to be a Wallaby when he was 19, but he had to wait. And what does that teach you? Toughness, resilience, and patience. And that's what he's had all the way through, mate. He's extremely staunch, and it ain't about him. It's about rugby. So great appointment then in that case. Greg Martin is with us, Triple M Breakfast host out of Brisbane. 3 hours. You still got your stupid daylight saving. God, when is this going to stop, mate? But me doing breakfast radio, it's brilliant. It's light now at about 4:10 in the morning, so I love it.
Okay.
A lot of other people don't. So anyway, we tried to change it, but what did they say? The cows won't.
Yeah, the curtains. They said the curtains are going to get sunburned or something.
The kiddies to sleep.
Something like that. I tell you what I've loved seeing. When Man City won the treble last year. Who was the winger with the floppy haircut who just went on all the drunk? Yeah, Grealish, the drunken rampage. Travis Head has been doing the same in India, mate. Apparently he hasn't even phoned her at home. He's just been completely wasted for about a month.
Remember last week you asked me who would you like to have a beer with in the Australian team, and there was silence. Can I now answer that? Travis Head. Isn't
he great?
Oh, mate, he's old school, and he's got a little bit of a gut poking through.
Yes.
So that's from drinking too. I think 7 of them. Do you know what's happening now? We've got to play India starting tonight.
In a T20 series. I know.
4 T20s.
What the hell?
So most of them came home. Solar Panel Pat and Hazelwood and Stark.
Hey, I tell you what, he sailed the boat quick, did Pat, didn't he? Don't tell me he flew and destroyed the ozone layer. Oh, he did. All right.
Yes, he did fly on a plane, yes. I think low emission plane, I think it was.
Oh, of course.
They came home. But they were all interviewed as they arrived at Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane. They were all interviewed going, how will they go? And they just laughed when they said, if Travis Head plays in that game, if he's sober enough to play in one of those T20 games, it'll be a miracle. So it's all full of joy, mate. So happy days for beating India in front of 120,000 people. Was pretty bloody good. So, no, not a bad week.
Let us end on the fact that the ICC are banning those humans born with a penis from playing international cricket against the other humans that are born without a penis. Now, we used to call these men and women, biologically born men and women, okay? So,
yes.
Yeah. Is this a sensible decision?
Of course it's a sensible decision. Like, I know it doesn't often happen in world sport, but because it's a sensible decision, it should... Yeah, why would you even bother asking me that? You're leading me in, I think. So, bloody hell.
Trying to see whether you'll slip up or not. No,
I won't slip up. I'm on my way to the golf, mate. I'm on the way.
So, what have you been looked after? Now? So this is a corporate thing. You don't have to do a gig or anything. You're just there to get, pissed?
No. Yeah. Day drinking. And it's at the party hole. You know those holes where the hole green, it's a par 3 17th. It's 130 metres. And about 4,000 drunk people will just be surrounding the green and going, get in the hole! Get in the hole!
I'm just amazed that you actually got a day off the hammer, mate. So how did you excuse yourself from that?
No, I've wrapped up all my jobs for the year. I've said, I need it done before Christmas. Well, no, you'll have to find another carpenter. So I've wrapped it up, carpentry for the year.
Always a pleasure,
mate.
mate.
Day drink.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you every week. Talk next week.
At ease.